Behind every UFC champion, there is a training camp that shapes them. The hours you don't see, the sweat, the grind, the repetitions. Greatness is not built on fight night, it's built in the gym. Today, we look at four of the biggest names in mixed martial arts: Khamzat Chimaev, Ilia Topuria, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Conor McGregor. Each with a different style, each with a different story. But all of them share one thing: training camps that turned them into legends. Khamzat Chimaev is one of the strongest and most feared fighters in the UFC today. From the very beginning of his career, he showed the world that pressure, strength, and an unstoppable mindset can break almost anyone. He has won 15 professional fights without a single loss, and in 2025, he finally reached the top by becoming the UFC Middleweight champion after defeating Dricus du Plessis. Chimaev's fighting style is simple but brutal. He mixes chain wrestling with heavy ground and pound, smothering his opponents until they cannot move. What makes him different is not just skill, but the pace he fights at, always pushing forward, never giving his opponents time to breathe. In training, Khamzat is known for Shark Tank wrestling rounds where fresh opponents rotate in against him just to tire him out. But most of the time, it is he who tires them out. His sessions include heavy grappling, wall wrestling, pad work, and brutal conditioning drills with sled pushes and assault bikes. Many say his mindset is his real weapon. For Khamzat, the goal is not just to win, it's to dominate, to break his opponent's spirit. And that is why so many fans believe he could hold his title for a very long time. Today, Khamzat Chimaev stands undefeated, a UFC champion, and one of the most dangerous men in the sport. Ilia Topuria is one of the fastest rising stars in the UFC, and many already call him one of the best fighters of this generation. He is undefeated with a perfect record of 17 wins and no losses, and he is a two-division UFC champion, holding both the featherweight and lightweight titles. What makes Topuria special is his striking. His boxing is sharp, powerful, and precise. He loves to attack the body with hard shots, then follow up to the head with clean combinations. His right hand is dangerous, but his left hook is just as deadly. And if the fight goes to the ground, he is no stranger to submissions. His grappling is strong, making him a complete fighter. In training, Ilia focuses on clean technique, hours of pad work, body shot drills, head movement, and defensive boxing. He mixes wrestling and jiu-jitsu, drilling takedowns and back takes so that he can control opponents anywhere the fight goes. For conditioning, he works on explosive movements like med ball throws, sprints, and long rounds of sparring to keep his timing sharp. Topuria's discipline is his secret. He wastes no movement, no energy. Every punch, every step has purpose. That is why in every fight, he looks calm, focused, and ready to finish. At only 27 years old, Ilia Topuria is already a double champion. If he continues like this, many believe he could become one of the greatest fighters in UFC history. Khabib Nurmagomedov is one of the most dominant champions the UFC has ever seen. He retired undefeated with an incredible record of 29 wins and 0 losses, a record that may never be broken. As a lightweight champion, he defended his belt 3 times before walking away in 2020, leaving behind a legacy of greatness. Khabib's style was built on his foundation of sambo and wrestling. He would take opponents to the cage, trip them to the ground, and control them with his famous Dagestani handcuff. Once on top, he would trap an arm, pin the body, and unleash relentless ground and pound. Very few fighters could survive his pressure. His training was legendary: endless wrestling rounds, sparring with fresh partners, running in the Dagestani mountains, and drilling simple but effective moves over and over again. His father, Abdul Manap, taught him discipline, humility, and the importance of position before submission. What made Khabib different was his mindset. He didn't fight for fame or money. He fought for legacy, for his family, and for his people. Every time he stepped into the octagon, he carried Dagestan with him. Today, Khabib Nurmagomedov is remembered as one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, a fighter who never tasted defeat and who set the standard for dominance in the UFC. Conor McGregor is one of the most famous and influential fighters in UFC history. Known as the Notorious, he became the first fighter in UFC history to hold 2 belts in 2 different weight classes at the same time: featherweight and lightweight. Conor's fighting style is built around timing, distance, and his deadly left hand. He fights from a southpaw stance, controlling range with kicks and sharp counters. His most famous victory came in 2015 when he knocked out Jose Aldo in just 13 seconds to become featherweight champion. Later, he defeated Eddie Alvarez to capture the lightweight belt, making history. In training, Conor worked heavily on precision striking, pad sessions with perfect left crosses, movement drills to control space, and sparring to sharpen his counter timing. He also trained unique movement patterns to stay unpredictable inside the cage. But what set Conor apart was not only his skills, but his mindset and confidence. He believed in himself completely and convinced millions of fans around the world to believe too. His trash talk, his charisma, and his ability to sell fights made him the biggest superstar the sport has ever seen. Though his career has had ups and downs, Conor McGregor remains one of the greatest strikers to ever compete in the UFC, and a pioneer who changed the business of MMA forever. Training camps are where champions are made, from the endless wrestling rounds of Khabib to the precision striking of Conor, from the relentless pressure of Khamzat to the sharp discipline of Topuria. What fans see under the lights is only the final product. The true battles are fought in the gym every single day. This is the price of greatness. This is what it takes to become a UFC champion.